Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Emmy. Hello.
Good morning.
So glad to have you here on this apparent show. And yeah, my dear, I would love to talk with you about the boom.
It can't be talked about.
Let's have a try, my dear. So the
All
stage is
right.
yours. The stage is yours, and I will for sure interrupt you. Let's go.
Well, what's being expressed is just this that cannot be spoken about, but somehow it's being spoken in words. And this clarity is not by anyone. It's not owned, it's not trademarked. The clarity is in the absence of everything. It's already clear, which is also nothing. And in this apparent appearance of this conversation, is there really something going on? Or is it just this that cannot be figured out if there's something going on or it's not going on? It's just this seeming appearances of, conversation, which is seemingly happening, but it's not at the same time. Again, in the absence of, expressions and um, conversations about what's happening, it's just really this boom question mark boom because
Totally unknown, right?
it's
Boom.
completely unknown and there's no one here or no one that can precisely express what it is, but there's this in loveness in speaking about something that cannot be talked
Yeah.
about because it appears in everything. It appears in
Yeah.
this very conversation. It appears
Totally.
constantly, permanently,
Totally.
and it's
And
not it's yeah, go ahead.
when a little bit here the story of Rosa, and I was following and watching you so long, 3 years ago, or from the very beginning on, and had this coaching parallel to this, and there was always the drive to this boom, wow, to this, the simplicity of just this, which is totally unknown, but it plays out like it plays out as long as you want to have something, get something, think it's about something, or there's simply the drive. There is no choice. You're simply driven. And then, then came this I just was watching your stuff and zooming in and your meetings, and then you came up with those unconditional wow and this infinite boom or this stillness, And I was like, whoa, 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 Emmy, it's the boom, There is nothing to give, really. This is simply just this, but I don't know what this is. And yeah, so stunning, so magic. Wow,
It
wow.
is. It's just this magical expression of something that's quite obvious already, that everything already is as it is. It's already inherently complete already. And there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide because this is unhidden. Yet, it seems to be hidden because it appears as everything. So nothing is missed, nothing is dismissed, so to speak, and it can't be avoided. And
Yeah.
the expression in speaking about this, although it can never be fully expressed, yet there's this passion that comes out that wants to express something that cannot be expressed, which is also it, by the way, because it can never be not it. It's always
Right.
this boom infinitely.
And also this always saying this is a two and this is a two, just a story, just a thought, in your one-on-ones which you're posting. So uh this is just, I was like, wow. And I love the voice, your voice. I don't know what it is, and it is like, for me, like, really is, yeah, you're talking in dreamlish, as you say, those
Yeah.
poetic stuff which you are using, and always taking a new perspective, this joyfulness in talking about this, also seeing the strong searching energy there, the apparent people who really from all over the world, so strong seekers with also a lot of heavy stories, and and you are there simply like, well, this is it too. This is perfection, you know? And even if it feels contracted, sticky, there is a feeling of, this is it too. And actually, this is just a story. Fuck it. Who cares, you know? And this, who cares? And this is the most, you know, this is it. Who cares? It's simple. It's this. And there is no thought needed. And I think here's the master of disaster sitting sitting here and performing like really mind blowing. And here it's such a joy having you here, or you having me here, just, you know, full on aliveness. I mean, like, oh,
It's always a
brilliant.
joy. It's always a joy. On those one-on-one meetings, there's really no distinction from, a speaker, a teacher. There's no speaker, there's no teacher. It's just what is. It's just what's, you know, complete equanimity, that what is
Yeah,
speaking is already empty and what's being spoken at is already empty. So it's an empty to empty talk. So there's no
totally,
positioning whatsoever. There's no
totally.
one that's going to say that there's a contraction energy there, that there's still a me there, because that's just another narrative about something
Always.
that cannot be figured out. And it's
Yeah,
always the case. So it's really does not have any contradiction. What seems to appear, you know what I'm saying, seems to be contradictory, but who cares?
who cares?
Who
Who
cares? It's
cares?
already obviously clear that it is what it is, no matter what the case is. And for the seeker, the apparent seeker, of course, there's no seeker. They look for a speaker that can seem to have at that state that there's no one, but there's no one that has a state of no one, because it's already the
Exactly.
case. No
Exactly.
one
And
or
this,
one. Yeah.
and this is, sorry for interrupting
Oh,
you, my
that's
dear,
okay.
but
That's okay.
okay. And this is exactly, you have those wonderful speakers like Tony,
Yeah.
Jim, and and you really think, and it's so clear presented. And then you, oh, okay, but this is a contracted energy there, you know? And here, what here is being said is just really, there is this boom, which simply is mind blowing,
It
you know?
is. It is. And the speakers that speak about this would speak about it really, really clearly. But somehow, the seeker would look at that as truth, as
Yeah,
the absolute,
exactly,
as the
exactly,
ultimate. But there's no
exactly.
such thing.
Even
There's
though
no
the
such
speakers
thing.
say very clearly that, you know, uh, the listener is getting it like this, but I'm
That's
not
right.
saying this, you know. They also say, but did you listen what I just said?
Yeah.
Because, you know, and there I totally get it, because it's the same here. The reaction would be, but wait, you said this and this and this. And here with you, my dear Emmeline, this is not there. This is simply not there. This is straight, you know,
It's just
straight
direct.
through,
It's just direct.
direct.
It's no
And this is
middleman, no
no
authority,
middleman.
no
No.
no no worrying about languaging, because languaging is just languaging. It's
Yeah.
dreamlish. It's just an
Yeah.
appearance. But
Yeah.
it also communicates that there's no practice to this. There's no need for a teacher for this. There's no
Yeah.
guru. There is
Yeah.
no awareness of anything that's dualistic, which is already
Yeah.
clear. So when it's
Yeah.
already clear, there's just seeming a lot of residues that seems very heavy for the seeker, right? The seeker would assume that there's still a contraction or whatever,
Yeah.
but that just becomes another next, but there's no next. So
Yeah.
when the seeker listens to what is being communicated, the usual kind of like, what comes up, there's still a me there, but there was never me in the first place.
Yes.
There's no one to drop away. So when
Yes.
there's a one-on-one here, it's just complete like blast of it's already the case.
Yeah.
No matter
Totally.
what is thought, no matter what is held onto as a belief system, it's already the case. And in the absence of words, and again, words like absence is just really just a word that is made up.
Just the word.
It's
Yeah.
just made up because no one
Yeah.
can know
Yeah.
absence. No one
Yeah.
can know,
Yeah.
no one can think what's
Yeah.
unthinkable. Somehow it
Yeah.
has to communicate in a languaging that seems to create contradictions,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're all duplicitous. All the
Yeah.
language are made up.
The
So
contradiction is it too? Every word
it is
is it too?
too.
This is the story already. This is here the story
Yeah.
already. We are the imagined players, right? This is just the game,
Not
the
even
beautiful
that.
game.
Not
Not
even
even that.
that. If it's directly, it is already what it is. It might appear as players, it might appear as imagined, but in the directness, in the absence again of thought, it's just already what it is. It's directly
Yeah.
looking at it, but there's really no one being seen or no one seeing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just
no one's seeing this. No one's
no
seeing
one
this. It's
behind
great.
any of this, no
Yeah.
witness, no
Yeah.
source,
Yeah.
nothing at all, and not even nothing because that's just another idea, right? So in this directness of this apparent character speaking, there are really no characters here, isn't it? There's really not no
Yeah.
one listening to this. There's no one
Yeah.
speaking about this. But that
Yeah.
can't be imagined because the imagination or the thinking will only take you in this apparent,
Right.
contradictions. Um,
Right.
but
But
there
this
are
is
no.
it too. But this
That's
is
it
it
too.
too.
That is
So
it.
this is
That's it too.
the
It
unconditional
is.
wow, boom, and this is, here is no more since I listened to you, my dear. It took me a little bit, because
Yeah.
it was I had first of all to let apparently,
Yeah.
but the drive was unavoidable, and then there was no more questioning.
Yeah.
Oh, this and this, but this, no more. Fuck it. Who cares? And
Yes.
then listen to Amy once again. He is telling it straight in the face,
Yeah.
and this is so ah. This is
It's
so
the so
cool.
what and who cares, and it
Yeah,
is already what it is, and it does
totally.
not need any kind of authorization or any
Right,
kind of like a
right.
knower or something. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just what it is. It doesn't.
Like saying to me, Rosa, it's okay. It's okay. It's not needed, This
It's
is
not
so
needed.
direct.
Yeah.
It's wow. Yeah, Emmeline, and in the story, since I've listened a lot to you and the stories also, yeah, your story. This is very, very very colorful. A lot of things. You've done a lot of things. Do you would like to go not that much in the story?
Yeah,
Maybe
for
a
sure.
little bit?
It's not really
Yeah,
necessary, but you know what? For the
yeah.
sake of storytelling, there was a character that was really heavily into seeking, looking for something better than this,
Mm,
something that is in the next. So, in other words, was looking for enlightenment. And about 10, more than 10 years ago, really bad
mm,
with timeline, by the way, because there's no such thing. Um, in the timeline, there was this seeming seeking in a linear form, right, from here to there,
yeah.
and so more than 10 years ago, it thought that it reached awakening or enlightenment or Kundalini, whatever you might want to call it. And it
Okay.
saw God in everything. So that was my languaging before, right? It was like, oh, that's
So
God,
you
that's
are
God.
God. You are,
Everything is
or
God.
everything is
This is
God.
God. This is God. This is God. And I was in a street that there was a lot of people that was apparently suffering. So
Mm.
I thought, so all the people that was suffering at that time was God at the same time. It was just, so the veil seemingly have dropped and there was just this explosion of love that has never been felt before. Right. And I was hugging everybody and everybody thought I was high. They're like, what are you on? I'm like, nothing. So I promised, to maintain that bliss, so to speak. I started doing selfless service. I opened up,
So
you
kind of
know,
a glimpse, or what would you say? Was it?
it was longer than a glimpse. It was
Well,
more of
yeah,
an awakening experience, so
yeah,
to speak.
yeah, yeah,
So it
yeah,
lasted for a couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Or
okay. Oh, okay.
but it was a lot of maintenance of awareness, a lot of practices, a lot of
Yeah,
helping others, a lot
yeah,
of eating air, vegan diet, and all that kind of stuff, or trying to go back and forth with it, trying to
yeah,
be the
yeah,
most sattvic, pure kind of like teacher. Um,
yeah.
but what was also seen was that what was attained can also be lost. So when I
Hmm.
would lose it, I would go into a panic and go with all the practices. It became like
Yeah.
2 hour meditation, 3 hour meditation,
So,
all
so
that
it
kind of
was
stuff.
fear, panic attack, stuff like this there.
Oh yeah, there was a
Yeah,
lot of when I
yeah. Here
lost it.
too, here too.
Oh, and I hit it really, really well, and it
Yeah.
was just when a panic attack was coming on, I would usually try to drink it out. and
All right. All
or
right.
do whatever. But the anxiety was so
Yeah.
strong,
Yeah,
um,
totally.
but it
Just
was
just the
hidden
fear of death. Yeah.
hidden with spiritual teaching, so to speak, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Sure.
when so I ended up, after maybe several years, everything started falling apart. That the teachings were not maintaining any of it. I saw the falsity of the teaching, and the lineage and all that kind of stuff like that. But
Mm,
because I had mentors, my mentors basically said it's just a process and everything,
mm, mm, mm.
until one day that I was just really kind of like, I kept on traveling to look for the perfect guru, to be a disciple. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
mention the names. So I'm sat at
Okay.
many different
Okay.
gurus' feet, so to speak, to hopefully get to become a disciple,
Yeah.
because I had a spiritual community that I wanted to be enlightened about,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
thought I
Sure.
lost it, right? I'm like, okay, when I come back, I lost
Yeah.
it and everything.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, all of that failed until I um, basically encountered a communication that was very uncompromising, which was like very harsh to hear, but at the same time, at that time in the story, of course, that was needed. So I just kept on hitting a wall over and over and over again,
Mm,
listening to Jim, and at
mm.
one point I ended up quitting listening to it,
Okay.
because it seemed to be just the opposite of another. You know what I'm saying? It was just the opposite. It was
Yeah.
everything, you are God,
Yeah.
and then you are
Yeah.
nothing. There's no
Yeah.
you.
There is
It's
no
just
one.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, which is
Yeah.
brilliant at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
great. And
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Everything was just, everything that was held on to. After I quit, I was just devastated, almost resigned, quit seeking, and just blank, basically blank, right? It was just no hope, nothing
But
left.
wait, how was it? You said you quitted it. It wasn't it just you there was no drive anymore to listen to
No,
it.
no,
Or
no.
was it like, oh, I am not going to listen to this anymore, but actually I would love to,
No,
you
no.
know?
It was the repeated, hitting
You will.
the wall over and over again. At one point I was actually really hitting the wall. I had marks on the floor.
Oh
I
boy.
was just and I just got tired of it, right? The
Yeah.
character was just
Yeah.
like, enough
Yeah.
of this
Totally.
seeking. So
Totally.
maybe a few weeks after that, that's Siri. I mean Alexa. So after this many attempts of seeking, and saw the futility of it, um, naturally the character just gave up.
Yeah.
Naturally the character just and then it started, treating the depression with some therapy, so to speak,
All right.
because there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of depression. It was just
Yeah.
so heavy,
Yeah.
so heavy. And this story,
Yeah.
I don't really remember much because it's just a
Yeah.
story. It doesn't really,
Yeah.
really matter.
Yeah.
And there's really no relevance to this story, by the way.
Yeah. 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 There is
So
there
it was
is
just,
no relevance at
yeah.
all to this. Yeah.
So it
It's
was
just a
just,
story.
it's just a story. So one time after quitting seeking, so to speak, not to quit and then come back, you know what I'm saying, but just quit, just tired
Yeah.
of it all.
Yeah.
There was just DJing, because
Mm.
every time I got into an anxiety or about to get into a panic attack, I would always do something that I love, like
Mm.
DJing,
Yeah.
reading, or something that,
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
music
To avoid
to
this
avoid it.
fear.
Yeah. So all of a sudden it was just really um anticlimactic, but at the same time it's changed everything. Everything was just this. So there was no
Mm.
one DJing, it's just this. There's no
Mm.
one listening to music, it's just this. So there's no one doing anything. And there was
Mm.
this big unconditional wow, like, wow, what's going on? And
Yeah.
there's no more belief system. And
Hmm.
it was just harsh because the belief system was the anchor, whether the belief that it's everything or the belief that it's nothing. So the belief can
Yeah.
only operate in opposite, so to speak.
Yeah.
Belief or no
Yeah.
belief, even a no belief is a belief. So
Yeah.
when all that went spiraling, I didn't know what to make of it. There was just this profound silence. I'm like, oh, there's nothing that can be said.
Profound silence.
But there was also this peace
Mm.
that was just unthinkable. It was just like, there's just this peace. So for quite a while, there was just no speaking. It was not
Yeah.
necessary. It was not
Yeah.
necessary. And
Yeah.
somehow, somehow I came back to Ontario out of my
Yeah.
exile, but there was this.
Where Ontario, where your parents are living,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, I came here,
And
and
your
then the
family, your brothers, and I have to say too, you have brothers and
I have
Neffen und Nichten, nephew and nieces, right? And also Ella, Bella,
Ella
doggy.
Bella. She's having a haircut right now, so I have to pick her up after.
Last time she had her period, her period. You remember the joke? I was like, okay. Yeah, okay. Go on, my dear. So you came back to
You came
Ontario?
back, and just this uncaused happening that never happened was very obvious. So there were no more hangups with the story, because before that, narrative, there was a failed character that failed at everything, was exiled, was just miserable. But somehow all of that seemingly have dropped away.
Oh,
And
yeah,
there's a lot of laughter, there's a lot of smiling, there's
yeah,
a lot of spacing out,
yeah,
because he doesn't know
yes,
what's going on, but it's fine.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
perfectly fine, right? And
totally.
the peace of not needing any answers anymore, or
Yeah,
because the questioner and the answer are both illusory, although it appears
yeah,
as reality, but there's no such
yeah,
thing as illusion or reality. It's just
yeah,
this. So this was just seeing everything as this. So there's
yeah.
no other than, there's no separation. It's just
No
all
separation.
this. And
Yeah, no separation.
and it
Let me say to this, when you just so beautifully explained this, wow, wow, wow. And you said then there was this wow, right? When you were started your DJing also, I have to say,
yeah, yeah.
DJ. I just would love to see you DJing and dance when you're Emmy. Okay, and then there was this wow, no separation, just this,
Yeah, it's
and
it's not even the word separation doesn't matter,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
this unknowable wow, right? It's a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
and no amount of thinking or
And
trying to understand it can figure it out, right? So
yeah, and now there is here the apparent Rosa listening to this, and there's the thing, oh, okay, this is it, this is it. But here it's not like this, because here's the sense of Rosa speaking,
yeah,
even not that much paying attention to observing or well, awareness.
yeah,
No, zero. But here is an apparent Rosa. And not because only a story, but due to your the way you express this, here is simply no need to go further into this,
yeah.
because this is it too. Who cares?
Who
Suck it,
cares? Who
And this
cares?
is
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and here's this
The
aliveness,
story is
this
also it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. So,
Eh,
wow, wow, I mean, okay, sorry, go on. Well,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
And there was just this, there was just this in loveness. It's really deep, you know what I'm saying? And in something that
I don't
cannot
know, my dear. Of course, I don't know what you're saying.
and so somehow, you know what I'm saying, I um there was a lot of clarity, but he could not really express it in words for quite a while, right? Because it's really hard to express in words of something that does not need to be spoken about.
Mm,
It does not need any interpretation, it does not need any expression, so to speak. But yet, even the expression is it.
mm,
Even the trying to express what cannot be expressed is also it. So it does not see any separation. It does not see anything right or wrong. Although there might appear to be something right or wrong, it's just already the case. It's already what is, and it's just a
mm.
beautiful, stunning obviousness that cannot be said in words.
Yeah, and there
Yeah,
is no choice if there
there's no choice.
you're
Even if it
speaking, you're
appears there's a
speaking about a
choice,
smile. Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
everything is just an appearance, but all
totally.
appearances are this unknown wonder. This
Yeah,
this 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 wowness that cannot be
yeah,
captured as an idea, right? So Everything
Yeah.
is it. So there's nothing that cannot be it.
Yeah.
And there's no more gatekeeping, because before there was an idea that, oh, maybe, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there is really never been a me in the first place. And that energetic kind of like idea that there is a me or
Yeah.
no me,
Yeah.
it's just another stuckness, isn't it?
Yeah. You see,
Yeah.
this energetic idea, this energetic idea that here is Rosa.
Yeah.
It's just another story.
Yeah. But that's
And
also it.
even though
See?
if I say to you, my dear, but I feel it, I can
Yeah.
feel it,
Yeah.
it's not just a thought.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
And again,
what?
so what? So what? There's also this, when before that apparent thing, I went into this severe crying and depression, could not get out. I felt like I was just in this metal cage of seeking, right? It was just so
Yes.
heavy. But somehow when that wow kind of like thing, it's like almost like that 20 pounds or 100 pounds of heaviness just opened up. There's just this release of like, but again, you know what? Any of this apparent,
Explosion.
yeah, it's just this wow.
Explosion.
So any
Yes.
of this expression or trying to get into something that is definite is just another trap
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's really nothing that can, everything that is being expressed about this is just another story, isn't it? This
Yeah.
does not make one story more true or less true. It's all
Yes.
a story. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's
It's
like
all a
every
story.
single tree is different in this appearance. Every
Yeah.
single character is different in this appearance. Although there's no trees and there's no characters,
Yeah.
it's all going to sound different. So no
Yes.
one has got the
This
key.
is the magic. This is the
Yeah,
magic.
yeah. No one has
Yeah.
got the definite or the key to what it is, and just that way,
Right.
because
Yeah.
that is just gatekeeping. You
Yeah.
know, and
Totally.
it doesn't matter because if you look at the child, they don't know what seeking is. They don't know what a
Yeah.
contracted energy is.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
what is.
Totally.
It's just so what?
Yeah.
Who
So what?
cares?
It's just
Yeah,
what is.
yeah.
Yeah, Emmeline, this is mind blowing. This is boom, 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 boom. I love it so much, really.
Yeah,
And you're writing also stunning poems. I'm not that into English reading, I
you're
just for
great.
me it's like music. It's like your voice, listening to it's like music in my ears. I just love this,
Oh,
and also this joyfulness, yeah, this childish joyfulness. Yeah, you know what I mean. I know that you know, and that we don't know, but okay. And you also have a wonderful website and a lot of things on there. Not only those sweets. How are you called? Cinnamon rolls.
cinnamon rolls.
You love cinnamon rolls, right?
Yeah,
And yeah, and poems. And what about your bookie? You wanted to write a book,
the
or
book
you
is the book is already done. Actually, the front and
done?
it's already finished, right? But somehow the past month has been so busy.
Yeah,
There was a video that went a little bit, and then of course
viral.
viral. And because of that, there's some people that reported my YouTube channel. So I've been going back and forth trying to undo it. Some people are reporting some videos apparently
Okay,
as whatever, right? So it's
okay, okay,
creating some problems. I'm going back and
okay,
forth, but that's okay.
okay.
That's also what is. It's like growing
So
pain,
it's
so to
not
speak.
published now, the book, your
Not yet.
bookie.
Not yet.
Okay,
Not
it's
yet.
gonna be
But it's
published.
done. It's completely done already.
Oh,
The
great.
book cover, it's everything.
Yeah,
And I've had a
yeah,
lot of great help from it too. A couple of people were helping
yeah,
me. So
right,
it's been such an awesome thing that again there's no
right.
rush because
There's no
there's
time.
there's no time, and so what? Who cares?
It's about nothing. It's really about nothing. It's just about this joyfulness here. It's just
Yeah.
about, yeah, like children playing and
It's the
whatsoever.
innocence in this, right? It's the
Yeah,
innocence.
innocence.
It's the
Totally.
innocence and the lack of seriousness, so to speak, right? So
Beautiful.
when
Beautiful.
somehow, a speaker becomes so serious and everything, it's okay. There's nothing wrong or right about it.
Yeah.
But they're stuck in a position usually. They're stuck in I'm right and they're wrong.
Yeah, and every line,
And
as
that's
long
okay
as,
too.
yeah, sure, this is it too, of course. Everything is it, but as long as the character loves this serious teacher or speaker, this is it too. It's
That's it
senior,
too.
so yeah, yeah,
That's it too.
totally.
Yeah. Being stuck is
And I
it
see
too.
that. Yeah, of course. And seeing and I just noticed that, and you also said it actually, that you are kind of the last instance for hardcore seeker or very spiritual
In the
seekers,
story, there's really no,
in the
there's no
story.
really last, but it's almost like when
Yeah,
when
yeah.
when when someone has been, they can usually
When the
relate
head
to
when the head is often enough
when
banged
when
against the wall.
when they've given up, they can't, they've listened to maybe,
Yeah,
20 years of
20 years or more.
or
Yeah.
more, right? They usually kind of like, oh, I guess this is the last resort here. This is the only one I have not listened to. He must be really
Uh,
bad.
I would say this is just mind-blowing. Call it bad, call it good, call it what you want. It's just playing out as it played. No choice in this because there is
It's like,
no achievement
how did I
anything.
get here? It's just but
Yeah,
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 in all, you know what, it's just the fun of it too, right? It
totally.
usually can, like, because they hear the speaker say that, the story of Emerson has been maybe about 30 years plus of seeking, right? So it's like, it's insane. It's insane. I didn't even know how beautiful the morning is because for the past 30 years, I've just been meditating. And
Yeah,
and now it's the goldenness of the
yeah.
sunlight, the
Everything
greenness.
is.
Oh, wow.
Everything in
Wow.
every movement. I mean, the sun is always, no matter where you are, the sun
It's
is the same,
always,
the sky, the air, it's always there. Yeah, yeah.
it's
This is the
the
wonder.
after, when I talked to Claire Parson, which is Tony's wife, right? So it was funny because she was expressing something very similar. So now it's just a constant wow. This is wow. Talking to you is
Wow.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
It's just a constant
Yeah,
wow.
it's the bomb.
Yeah.
Caroline, oh my gosh, I thank you so much
Oh, thank you.
for this apparent quickie here.
Good
Just
quickie.
I really I just it's happening without any choice here. What's happening? It's I really would love to share this on the channel, on the pre-consciousness channel of Angie, the German one. It's a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
small one. And she switched it. It's not a new one, but she was about consciousness there, but not two.
Ah,
Less.
that's okay.
And,
Yeah.
and then she switched. She couldn't listen to consciousness stuff anymore, like here, and she switched it to pre-consciousness in a way. And this is just this message. It's just this.
Thank you.
There's
Yeah.
nothing to get. It's about nothing. Enjoy the show or not, or don't whatsoever. And maybe there are going to be some German people who are going to watch this or not, or whatsoever, just sharing this beautiful boom, this beautiful wow. And yeah, totally. I mean, I thank you so much. Angie's going to
Thank
put
you.
your I thank you. We thank you. Angie's going to put the datas. Would you please send them to
Yeah,
me?
for sure. For sure.
And she's going to post all the things, where you can, yeah, under this. And please send me also a kind of a text poem, maybe what you want,
Oh, for
so that
sure.
we can edit to this talk when you're posting this.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you. Yes, of
would you
course.
love it?
Yeah.
Emiline, I love you. Okay, so greet Alabella, and I would say thank you so much. Bye bye, love ya. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.